I've been looking for an apartment, but I have horrible credit. Cosigning.com helps you get a cosigner that helps you out to get your dream apartment. Don't let your horrible credit get you down. Cosigning.com has changed the game. I got a cosigner quick and easy. I couldn't have asked for a better service.
So I'm seeing more and more of these videos pop up, and I've always done well when it comes to relationships and dating. And, I usually date multiple women at the same time. Anybody who knows me personally knows that about me. Any women who like me, who want to date me, they know this about me. I haven't been with one woman by herself in so many years. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. It's kind of like a person who's not good at taking pictures. They don't know what to do with their hands. That would be me if I just had like one girlfriend. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. But now, again, we're in the information age, right? And men are starting to figure out that the juice is not worth the squeeze when it comes to a lot of these women, which is unfortunate because naturally, as men, we want to grow up. We want to meet a good woman. We want to get married. We want to have kids. We want to have a family. That's how every man is programmed who's a straight, normal guy from the United States. That's how we're programmed. That's what we want to do. The problem is women have went so far left that there's no way that we're going to be able to intersect with them anymore. They live in a completely different world where men are basically just workhorses that get them pregnant and then give them money and they get to retire. They don't have to work. They don't have to work on themselves. They don't have to work on their mind or their personality or anything. They just have to temporarily make sure they look good enough in this 20 to 26 area where somebody will get them pregnant, and then they just kind of give up after that. No self-improvement, no growing, no nothing, just a lot of lying about being rich and about being a girl boss, and a lot of lying about trauma and how this ex-guy did this and that to them. And then you go meet the guy and then you find out she was lying. None of that stuff was true. But it's a scam to kind of get men to where they want them. And unfortunately, a lot of people do fall for it. So this is another woman. This came across my feed. Actually, somebody sent this to me and I was like, well, let me listen to what she has to say about brunches.
Don't come to brunches. Angry black men dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to pay for stuff and just the laugh. If I'm inviting you to a brunch, that means me and my girls already got our tickets and our who we need your stuff for? What's that little money gonna do? Majority of the women making more money anyway. So,
well, let's go ahead and stop right there. That's a lie. A majority of women are not making more money than men. A majority of black women are not making more money than men. It's a ridiculous thing, but it's like, okay, what is your metric? Are you looking for pure black men? Are you looking at mixed black men? Are you talking about dark men? You got to be more specific. But in no metric are women doing better or more successful than men. And the fact that you're bringing up this money situation, have you ever been to a birthday dinner with a woman? No matter what race she is, because, a lot of these black women, they love bringing up race because for them, it's easy to just blame victimhood. It's kind of just like a reflex thing I've learned about black people. Everything, if you get cut off in traffic, it's because you're black. If you get pulled over, it's because you're black. If you don't get a job, it's because you're black. But if you don't get pulled over, and if you do get hired, you never say it's because I'm black. There. You really just, it's only a reflex if something negative happens and you're not happy. But again, I don't know why she's bringing up the money situation. Why, if you're going to pay for your own food and your own drinks, if a man comes to that table, you're going to look at him funny if he doesn't want to pay or if he doesn't offer to pay for everybody. We've seen the videos. The cat's out of the bag. There's no way for you to pretend like, oh yeah, I'm fine with just paying for everything myself. It's okay. No, it's not. You're not going to take that L and say, yeah, I'll just pay for stuff of my own. I invited you. None of you women are that mature or emotionally stable to do that. You're entitled. And right now you're complaining because you feel entitled to attention from men. You feel entitled to someone wanting to be with you and spend their time with you. Why? You know, any man of intelligence is going to ask, well, first things first, what happened to the last man that gave you attention? I can't be the first man that thought you were pretty. What happened to the last man that took you out, that went to brunch with you? The last man that was interested in dating you, what happened to him? Why didn't it work out? And then you start finding out when you start peeling back these layers, because again, we're in the information age, 2025. It's getting harder and harder to lie. So you got to ask, okay, well, what happened to him? And then you find out she has a lot of issues. Men nowadays are more conservative than ever. They're frowning upon women who sell sex, women who have a lot of partners, women. So that immediately disqualifies a lot of these women. So if you know where these women congregate and where they hang out, and these women are disqualified from, you know, even an average or below average man from wanting to go and spend his time, his money to be around them, well, then, of course, when you go to these events and these places, there's no one going to be there. There's no men there. Now, men like me, I'll go because I know what to do. For one thing, I bring sand to the beach. I like girls who like girls. So I'm going to sit there with 3 other girls, and any women who are interested in women too are going to come over and sit with us and talk to us. Now, if you're a single regular guy who's not like me, you're not going to be able to pull that off. And the whole interaction is going to be uncomfortable when you see a guy like me sitting around with a bunch of women and you're just sitting there by yourself because, well, these women have all these unrealistic expectations. You know, I got lucky, you know, genetically, I'm not short. I'm not, you know, I work, so I'm able to do certain things. A lot of people, some guys don't have that option and they get turned down by women. And after the rejection kicks in, a lot of men just won't show up no more. I know if I went out somewhere, and I've been to a club before, and I've seen a woman that I thought looked good. I said something to her. If the response wasn't what I was looking for, I would literally leave the club and go home immediately. That's just me. I just don't. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's a sign that I'm not supposed to be here tonight. I'm not going to just keep trying and keep talking. I'm not wasting my time doing that. I'm out. So that's why, to play it safe, I always bring sand to the beach. So there's only going to be a few guys. There's only going to be guys like me there, or there's going to be gay guys. For this woman, I don't understand. You guys say going to brunch is sassy. Okay, well then why not? You guys all hang out with a bunch of gay guys nowadays. Right? You guys love gay dudes. Why aren't you just getting some of your gay male friends to go with you to the brunch? That seems like a win-win. And then see if they'll pay for your brunch. Or if you're going to pay for your own, you're on your own, right? Take some gay guy friends of yours, because you guys love showing up when we other guys have a table or a section somewhere and you're with your girls, and then you have one gay dude with you. Again, you're not bringing the gay dude into my section. I don't want him over here by me. I'm looking, we're not on the same page. I don't want him over here. So you guys can have your gay friends and go to brunch with them, go date them, go marry them, go deal with them. They can handle your attitude. You guys are just like them. But other men are just not willing to participate anymore, regardless. And I know it's capped that you're going to pay for everything. That's a lie.
Why would I care for that? All I said was, we want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men?
Because that's not true. You don't want to just hang. You want somebody to pay. You want somebody to spend their time. And even if they don't spend their money, you want them there. You want their attention for what? If any guy that's going to show up he's single, he's available, obviously in a market where there's billions of women and no men, obviously there's something wrong about him. So if he shows up, you're not trying to screw him. You're not going to give him attention anyway. You don't even want him. You want a man that has other women. You want a man that's married. You want a man that has a girlfriend. You want a man that's a celebrity. You don't want no regular single guy. You don't want to just hang out with just anybody. Because for one thing, for a man just to hang out, it doesn't make any sense if you're hanging out with a woman that doesn't see anything in you remotely romantic. Let's just be real. If you're not trying to give up nothing, if you're not trying to sleep with him or anything at all, then why would he waste his time there? He wouldn't. He wouldn't. You know, as men, you got to go where, not where you're just tolerated, but where you're desired. You got to go where you're wanted, not just where you want to go. You got to keep that in mind as a man too.
Why can't the black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have a good time? You be home by 6 and watch the game.
Listen, cut that black shit out too. That's just another form of manipulation and brainwashing where you're kind of trying to shame somebody into choosing you over another race of woman based off of, I don't know, your skin is yellow. You're not even a black. So, I mean, I don't understand. Like, cut that out. That's not going to prove a point. No one's going to say, let me go be with her because she's black. Men like women. Men like vagina. Men are not worried about the color of the vagina. Men do look for patterns. And there's a lot of men. I know a lot of these men where they would never, ever, dark-skinned dudes would never in their life touch a black woman with a 10-foot pole because of pattern recognition. They've seen other people have issues. I mean, look at what just happened to Amon Shumpert, for crying out loud.
Why would y'all rather choose being with all men? I never think.
Another form of manipulation. We would rather choose to be with women who value us and desire us, and not women who are just tolerating us coming out with them.
In a world where men be so thirsty to just be with men and not women.
Yeah, it's coming off as a heavy on the reverse psychology, but it won't work. No men are going to fall into your trap because you're basically trying to say that if you don't want to come be with me and my girls at a brunch and drink mimosas on a Sunday and then when the bill comes and it's $500, all these women who said they got all this money they're going to pay, now they're looking at you like, oh, if you don't pay that sassy. Now you're wondering why we don't want to show up and go to these events with you. It's the reverse psychology is not about to make men go back to how we used to be. You know, men used to be tricks. And I'm not saying, now they're still tricks, but not like there used to be. Like there used to be dudes that used to go out and pay rent. They would pay a whole rent for a woman, pay her whole cell phone bill and not even be having sex with her, not even barely dating her. But I had a cousin. I remember my cousin bought a girl some furniture. Like it was like years ago, but I was like, why'd you she's a stripper. Like, why are you buying furniture for strippers? It didn't make sense to me. But in his mind, if he keeps doing stuff for her, eventually she's going to have sex with him. But then you have to go through a cost value analysis and see, well, how much are you technically paying for this vagina? Okay, you're doing that. Okay. There's other ways you can pay for vagina that are a lot more economical if you're on that path. I got another, one of my best friends, I'm ashamed to say, I found out that that's what he does. Just, getting on the internet on those websites and he's just call girls but be honest with you, even that's cheaper than going to a brunch and paying for 7 women's mimosas and their little appetizers. And then at the end of the day, they don't even say thank you. And you end up with nothing. And that's still, but it still would technically make more sense because at least in my boy's situation, at least he's going to get some cheeks. In this situation, you're going to end up with nothing. So it just doesn't make sense. And these women are acting so confused, but I'm like, how do you not get it? You guys don't do anything that doesn't make sense. Well, not all the time, but yeah, the reverse psychology is insane.
When women invite y'all to something, we just want to have a good time with y'all. Why are y'all so mad at us?
A good time for us would be you call us to your house and you're in a robe with some lingerie on. You made something to eat and you're just focusing on us. We're not spending no money. We're not out nowhere. We don't got to worry about getting drunk and then something going wrong and we don't get, no. A good time for us is we get it in first, then we go out. Not the other way around, because we go out and waste our time and money, and then the night doesn't go the way we want it to end, then it's just a waste. And you look like an idiot. And a lot of guys, that's what they do. It's a term we use. It's called striking out. I know some guys that strike out. There's some dudes I've known 10 years, and I've never seen them with a woman. I've never seen them hit a home run. They've always only struck out. So I get to the point where I'm like, well, why do you even go out? Are you just going out for the ambiance? Are you going out for the music? Because you're definitely not here smashing women. Again, I have girlfriends. I take sand to the beach. I'm not going to lose with 22s regardless. I'm going to win because, and then, women like women. Women want to be a part of a group of women. Nowadays, women will leave their husband just to be another man's side chick. They don't want to be the main. But I think dudes have to catch up to that. But I think right now, right now, men are just saying, you know what? I don't get what's happening. But all I know is I'm not getting the results I want, and I'm going to fall back. They'd rather play video games at home. They'll rather, go play ball with their friends, go work out, do anything else besides waste money chasing women who don't actually want you. We figured that out. These podcasts and shows women have been doing the last couple of years, they've really told us how women really feel about us, and we are not doing that no more. I can't even count now how many friends in the past year have gotten passports and they have full relationships in other countries, and they would never date. It don't matter what race woman in America no more. They won't date any American women anymore. They'll go out and they'll have drinks. And if it's a quick one night stand, they'll do it, but they won't ever call her again. They don't want anything to do with these women. These women are tainted. The reason that we go to other countries and meet women, but we would never bring them women back here is because we know one conversation with an American woman could infect the brain of the woman we're bringing from another country, and it would ruin her. This American mentality is infectious. It's like a pathogen or some kind of cancer, and it destroys women. And by destroys women, I don't mean breaks them down physically. It just makes them undateable. It destroys their prospects of ever getting married and ever being a wife. They can be a baby mama and they can be a headache if a man accidentally gets them pregnant. And he accidentally got her pregnant because he will only give her one kid. He'd rather die than give her two kids. I cannot blame or be mad at men for wanting to abstain from that. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to do. And, we're trying to do things we're trying to be more efficient. We're trying to be more responsible with our time and our resources. The days of women just taking us for granted and using us have to come to an end. They have to come to an end eventually. It just happened. Unfortunately, little mama came instead of your mother's generation. It happened to you. Yeah, you're pretty and you're cute right now, but every day you're getting older and you're becoming less and less desirable. And you're not gonna be able to compete with women who are younger than you, who look like you, but they can't really compete with women of the cultures anyway, because again, American culture is toxic and men don't want anything to do with it. That's why you see men have not changed in thousands of years. It's women. It's women that are changing, not the men. And again, the skin, nobody gives up. Men don't give a fuck about skin color. We date Asian, Mexican, Irish, Scandinavian, Norwegian, Filipino. We don't give a shit about color. Color doesn't mean nothing to us. That's just another form of trying to use manipulation. Hopefully you can tap into some kind of mental connection he has to his mother to shame him into wanting to not date women of other cultures and date you. It's not going to work. It's not going to work anymore. Work on yourself. Not talking about other women. Talk about you and who you are as a person. Not my skin, not superficial. Okay, the eyelash is fake. The hair is fake. All this makeup. Yeah, we can tell you're not trans, but a lot of these women with all that caked on makeup, you don't know if that's a dude under there that just had his shoulders shaved. You don't know. Nobody wants to deal with it. It doesn't make sense.
Supposed to be hanging together anyway.
No, we're not.
Each other. It's self.
We're not supposed to be hanging together because we look alike. That is fucking ridiculous. And I don't know how you guys see black men with other races of women and haven't figured that out yet. You guys got to get over that. And it's not like you can just go date other races, men of other races. Those men have good women in their culture. They're not about to leave their good women for one of y'all. Are you? They never do. You're insane.
Like y'all don't like us. After that, do y'all like do we do? Because
I mean, okay, you want to have that conversation, okay? Make a list. What is there to like? The fact that you're even bringing up race, that's one thing that people don't like anymore because that's old and it's played out and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean nothing. Personality, attitude, and how you treat me, that's what's important. Your how you look and your race means nothing to me as a man. It means dog shit to me. So, what is there to love? You don't like me. You will take a man for everything he's worth. If you could, you'll lie on him. You'll use him to play a victim and accuse him of being abusive because he told you he doesn't want you to wear a tight skirt and go out with your ex. You'll call him insecure because he doesn't want you having, group sex with, some guys you met at a club and you're out all night. But now he's insecure because he kind of knows a little bit of your history. What's there really to like anymore? What is there to like? Other women are more tolerable, unfortunately. And I'm not saying all, I'm just saying the rule is they're insufferable. But there are exceptions to the rule that are actually nice, genuine, good women, Black women that you can talk to that are friendly. But that has not been the experience of a lot of men. A lot of men have the same experience, unfortunately, with these women. And, men talk about it. And it's a pattern. So, like I said, the rule is that those are the type of women you want to stay away from. But if you get lucky and meet one that's the exception, yeah, you can take her up on an offer, but you got to be careful though.
I ain't did no bad stuff to Black men like that.
If that's the case, then where's your ex? How are you able to make a video on your phone when he's not blowing you up, begging for you back? That's why I call bullshit and cap on, I never did nothing bad to my ex. I hear every dude that gets arrested for murder say, I ain't did nothing. Yes, you did. Stop lying. Yes, you have. Everybody has. But the fact that you won't be honest about it is a turnoff. It's a big turnoff. It's just huge.
I love Black men. I ain't never even dated a white man.
That's because you didn't have the option to date a white man. There's no white man that's going to grab your hand, take you to his mom's house and say, hey, mom, this is my Black girlfriend. Nobody's doing that. Yeah, they'll smash and leave you alone just like a brother, but they're not about to do all that extra stuff. So it's not like you have that option anyway. So that's not really a flex to even bring that up. That's actually a bad look. And that's not being loyal.
We just want y'all to hang with us.
That's not true.
What's wrong?
That's not true. That's not true. Have fun with you. If you're not romantically involved with these men, then they're wasting their time and their money. Why in the fuck would we do that? It doesn't make any sense. So no, we don't want to go to brunch with you. No, we don't want to just hang with you. For what? I don't need a platonic friend. I don't need an extra sister. I'm trying to fuck something. I go to work. This is my downtime. This is my valuable time where I'm not busy doing something. I'm not trying to waste my time diddle-daddling around. You're either going to get it in or you're going to get it out. Out my face, out my car, out my crib. You're getting it in or getting it out. No, I'm not about to go sit in some restaurant with you and talk to you for hours and roll the dice on me spending money and then we end up not even sleeping together or there's nothing generates from this. Because let's just be real. That's the whole goal. It's not for marriage because you can't trust these women anymore. Marriage is a thing of the past. Why would you get married knowing you're going to just get sued in a few years by that same person you married? It doesn't make sense. So no man in his right mind is thinking about doing that no more. Unless he meets a woman in another country. Yeah, you could get married in another country and not bring the wife to the United States. Yeah, you could do that because there's no alimony and child support in other countries. So it's in her interest to make sure she works things out with you. In the United States, it's in her best interest to make sure that you guys don't work things out because she can get paid. Even in your little $50,000 a year job, she's still going to get money from you. Don't ever believe that. It's not going to happen. It is.
I've been talking to him for man. You get in my inbox on Facebook on Sunday. And first said, why the fuck we still texting? The second day we text him, you asking me for a fucking plate of food, bitch.
Bro, I don't understand. I think women don't understand what What are you really good for? What do men need you for? Food and sex. If he's telling you, hey, we can deal with each other, make me some food, make him some fucking food. You only have two things to offer any man anyway. You're not very encouraging. You can't offer conversation. You're not that bright. You don't build anything. You can't give me any advice on anything because you're in a worse position than he is. That's why you're single to begin with. If he's telling you what he wants, give it to him. But you're complaining about the man actually communicating with you. We've been on. Why don't you call me? I don't want to hear your voice sometimes. What we gonna talk about? You can text me until you're worth me waiting for. Apparently, this is somebody she hasn't even slept with. So why would he waste his time calling you? It doesn't make sense. The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No,
Everything about you resembles a man. All the makeup, all that extra fake shit on you, like it doesn't. Nothing about it gives like you're like a feminine woman. It's just, why would a man approach another man?
because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time.
Why would any man do that nowadays? We know what's really happening. We know you guys all have some poor ex-boyfriend that you've been screwing on again, off again for years. So while we're still in the talking phase with you, you're still physically fucking this other guy. We know that. We accept that. And we're choosing to pass on that now. Because while you're pretending no one approaches you, I bet you haven't went more than 3 days without getting smacked. I guarantee you have not went no whole week without sex, but no men are approaching you. You know what that tells me? Is that your threshold, your actually requirements are a lot lower than what you're pretending. I seen that chick that was brushing her fucking hair and her ponytail came out, tell some guy who was probably a fake bot, oh, 50,000 for a date isn't enough. Bitch, that's more than a thousand of you would not be worth 50K. So what the hell are you talking about? The delusion is that men are actually soaking this all in, and we're just saying, you know what? We're giving up. We don't want to do it no more, because again, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
It definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am?
Exactly. You are not who you think you are. All these women think they're a perfect 10. Be more realistic. You're a 4. On your best day, you're a 5. A solid 5. Not even a 6. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. But in your head, because of TikTok and Instagram, you think that all those bots and all those fake followers that are pumping you up about how beautiful you are, you think they're real. They're not even real people. And then if you look at it, it's a lot of females, but your goal is men. But there's women telling you how beautiful you are. But a man won't walk up to you and tell you that in person. That should be a red flag that the internet is lying to you. The internet, your sense of value is it's inflated. It's a false market. It's not a real. Your value is determined by the consumer. The men who are supposed to marry you are not seeing the value, but yet the internet is telling you that you're worth more or you're worth this amount. It's not adding up. The internet value and your real life value are completely different numbers, and you have to be realistic and understand that.
Looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it? So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous, because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place?
You don't know. And odds are you are going to be rejected, because if he wanted to talk to you, he would have walked up to you. But then again, we don't walk up to women. A lot of us don't walk up to women anymore. Certain men will walk up to women, but normal guys will not. A dude who values himself will not. Men with self-respect are not going to just be walking up to random women. No, we will sit there and we'll wait for you to walk over and introduce yourself and say hi, or you'll ask someone, or you'll strike up a conversation about something petty. I wear a fake wedding ring. Some women will say, oh, I like your ring, but they won't ask if I got a wife. They'll just make up an excuse to talk to you. That's it. But you don't know if you're going to get rejected or not. So your best bet is just to, say hi to a man as his friend. Excuse me, be cool. But if he asks you to make him a plate of food, or if he tells you to come over for late night, if you like him, you're better off doing that. That increases the odds that he might want to talk to you again. But if he's not sleeping with you anyway, then he might not talk to you at all. There really is no guaranteed win-win. There is no guaranteed. Right now, instead of trying to look for a husband, to look for somebody that's willing to at least tolerate you for more than a couple of weeks. Shooting for the husband is shooting too high. Men are not marrying women anymore because the laws in the United States are predatory for men. If we do get married, there is no upside. It's just a downside for me as a man. So we're not doing that anymore. And you got to kind of accept that, and you got to kind of get over that. I'm just being honest.
Decision to go up to you. How do I know face rejection?
That's a risk that men have to take every day when we approach women. So now the shoe's on the other foot because, there's 1,000 times more women than men that are available.
So, right, listen, ladies, the lies are getting more and more and more flamboyant.
And see, in this woman here, you might think it's a black thing. It's not. Don't get me wrong, brothers will smash her, but look at all the makeup. Look at all the contouring. Look at the lip injections. Look at all the Botox. And, it makes, we think you're either a porn star or an escort. And women like that come off to us as very promiscuous. No man wants to be in a relationship with a woman who is super promiscuous. Even though we do like to have sex ourselves, once we start having sex with you, we hate the fact that you've ever had sex with anyone besides us. It's just something that it's innate inside of men. This woman, the look she's giving, and obviously she likes black dudes. Black dudes have a lot more options now. We don't have to settle for just any woman that talks to us. We can smash you and keep it moving. You're going to have to compete. She does not seem like the type that's willing to compete. She thinks she should be compatible. Somebody should compete over her. But the older she gets, she's going to have to snap into reality. And with all the work that you can tell she's having done, she's getting up there.
Dramatic. Why am I telling you this? Because you need to be alert. Open your eyes and realize that most men are just out here lying to you. See, majority of men on dating apps are either in relationships, married, or have some dysfunction. Okay? Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we're not on dating apps looking for marriage. We're on dating apps looking for free sex. And if the free sex runs out and you can't get it, then 3 a.m, then you go to paid sex. You get on one of these other apps. They got apps for everything. But she's obviously in the free sex section, and she thinks someone's going to want to talk her out of her panties in 2025. Maybe in your mother's day, but baby, not in yours. We're not doing that anymore.
That guy has something wrong with him, okay? This is why, sorry to say, ladies, but dating apps are trash. You're never going to find a high-value man on a dating app. Never.
Yeah, the thing is, he does have something to him, and that is a extremely high sex drive. So he's cheating on someone because we still like women and we desire sex, even if we're in relationships. That's just the truth about it.
So I keep seeing these videos of women asking, why aren't men approaching females anymore? Why aren't men walking up to females in bars and introducing themselves and things like that?
I see a car seat in his back seat, but everything about this dude is given sweeter than cotton candy. I don't know, ladies. If that's what you guys are looking for, then go for it. But that's all there is out there. He'll go to brunch with you. He'll go to brunch with you, and he'll probably try to hit on your brother. But if that's what you like, that's what you got.
I think I'm gonna get hate for this, but whatever. I approached a black man this week at a dating.
Again, stop with the color shit. Stop with the black shit. Lead with personality. As a black person talking about black people, why do you got to? What happened to Martin Luther King? Have the context of character and not color of skin. What the fuck do you people just not, you love them, but then you hate them? How do you love Martin Luther King and then hate him? Focus on character. Cut that colorism bullshit the fuck out.
Event, and he was not interested in me, and that by itself is like not a great story, right? I tried to shoot my shot. He was not interested. I moved on, but immediately after I walked away from this man, he went up to a group of 5 white women and he introduced himself to all of them. And then I kind of observed at like the corner of my eye for the rest of the evening, this man was only going up and talking to different white women. Later that night,
I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to compete with a white woman. White women they're raised to be wives. They're raised to be women. They're not raised to be independent. They're not raised to be strong. They're raised to be women. They're raised to be women. So for a man who's raised to be a man, it's a really good fit. We fit really good with white women. They take care of their men. There are some bad apples that cause a lot of problems, but for the most part, the majority of men that I know that are in relationships with women that are white are very happy in those relationships. You got to do a consensus. As a woman, you wouldn't know because you don't date white women, because you don't know how amazing they are. So you wouldn't know. All you know is that that's your competition. And I've never seen anybody who loves their competition. I've never seen it.
Another very attractive black man came in, the exact same thing, only talked to the white women that were in the room. There were maybe 6 or 7 black women throughout. And I could tell, I would look over at the black women occasionally, they would be looking, we would all be observing the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing, right? And it's
you guys are all thinking the same thing because it's called pattern recognition. You are observing a pattern, men observe a pattern in you. So you can never be upset about somebody's personal preference and you're not their cup of tea. There's men out there that probably try to talk to you and you weren't their cup of tea. They weren't your cup of tea. You didn't give them any time of the day. You didn't give them any sex, no love. The same thing's going to happen to you. You know, everybody doesn't want your vagina. There are some people that have, there are some people that they use the internet to their advantage and they can find women who look like you and they see what happens when other men date you. And they decide that we don't want to end up like those other men. We just don't. We just don't. There's a woman who looks like you, who we've watched on Instagram, and she's 10 years older than you, and we've seen the decisions she made. And we kind of apply that as to learn. We want to learn from the mistakes of other men. And yeah, you're a pretty woman now, but you could potentially be a headache. Or if somebody gets you pregnant, you're going to try to destroy him financially. He won't be able to see his kids. Men think about this every moment of every time we go out, even when we're drunk. And that's how we make a decision on which kind of women we want to end up having kids with or even having sex with, because children are a byproduct of sex. It's not that this is that no men want to get you pregnant. That's just what it is. And that's, you got to find a man that wants to get you pregnant. Maybe do you have an ex in your past or somebody you used to know in high school who knows you as a person, who still likes you? Where are they? Why aren't there men banging down your door because you're such a good woman? They all want to have kids with you and marry you. There's a reason that no one has to fight over you.
Someone who has reviewed a bunch of different dating events, I have seen this play out so many times where you walk into a room, the black women are looking for other black men and the black men are not looking for black women.
Dude, the whole black bullshit, you got to get over it. Black men have more options and we don't have to settle for these bad experiences. We can watch Love and Hip Hop. We've been watching Love and Hip Hop and Housewives of Atlanta, and we've seen these shows and we've seen these black women that are beautiful, and we see how it turns out. Baby, you're going to probably likely end up, your soulmate's a man that's in prison right now. And when he gets out in 8 years, you guys will be together for a few months. You'll get pregnant. Then you're going to complain about him not having money. You're going to kick him out. And you're going to have to go back to find you another man getting fresh out of jail. A man with his life together who's doing things is not going to want to risk losing everything behind making a bad decision over a pretty face. We kind of base things off of what we've seen others and what have happened to them. And unfortunately, the men who've seen you, they probably have seen women who look like you, and they've seen other men have bad experiences, and they just don't want to do it. So, don't beat yourself up about it. You just got to go where you're desired. And where you're desired and where men want you are men that are in prison who need someone who right them and put a little 20 on their books every now and again, somebody they can call and talk to, that would literally distract you and take up your time, and you won't be wasting your time at these dating events. You're just going to wait for him to get out of prison. That's it, you know, or you're going to have to join another man's harem of women that he's seen. Sometimes you're going to be women that he's going to introduce you to, like me. Other times you're never going to meet these other women, but you know they're there. I wear a fake wedding ring so women will know that there's always other women with me, just in case I'm by myself at a gas station or some kind of market and I meet you. Don't think I'm alone. You guys got to understand that. You know, we're in different ages and times. Look, I got to go work out. I got to go. I'm going to eat a burrito. So like and subscribe this page, the single hubby or the single boyfriend on Instagram. Thank you, and I'll see you guys shortly.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.